More purple and blue axles on the website. Muse metal front and rear sets. Stickers included with everything. Thank you guys all so much. Enjoy.
I guess you could.
Let me get closer. Tell me how to find you.
You could probably go ahead and find me on YouTube.
There's people beside us.
Is that the long boy?
Yeah.
Camera does not do it justice.
Leave it.
Your back window just fell.
Oh, this is even worse than me. I'm a link bending machine.
Fluffernutter in them.
A bird just pooped on me.
How you spell crawl? Is there an E on the end? I go over chance?
Please subscribe. What's up, boys? We're back with another build. Right here it is. Stainless 24. This is chassis rail plus I think 10 different links, so we can run different wheelbases depending on the links we use out of here. And then there's also a little like roof piece if we want to turn this into a buggy. Wait, there's more than 10 links. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There's 16 different links on here, so you can run many different setups. I'm not sure what the plan is for this yet. We also got 3D printed pieces with it. Here's the flat skid. I chose the red and black color combination. I have a plan. I've had these red and black hard park wheels for a very long time, and I've never known what I wanted to use them on. I think the time has come. They pretty much match perfectly with the red and black on this. So build plans as of now, red and black hard park wheels. That's all I know what we're doing. This also comes with like a little roof piece if you're gonna do the buggy style. Comes with sliders. Oh, it also comes with the carrier bearing and everything needed for the carrier bearing. And it also has all of the hardware for the links. If you do want to order one of these, I know this isn't ideal, but you have to go through the Facebook group. I'll put it in the description if I remember. So I guess the first step is, oh, that's not bad at all. I wasn't sure how hard it'd be to pop this stuff out, but that just came right out with like my finger pressure. And just like that, we have a chassis rail. Okay, cool. One of the things that I really like about this chassis kit, the hinge on a stock body fits right with it. Not that I like using stock bodies often, but I just love whenever stuff is made easy like that. If you just want to run one of these bodies, your hinge will mount right to it, and it looks like it's, yeah, it'll line up like perfectly with it. So, always a fan of that. I guess at this point I'm just going to get all this stuff punched out. Quick little update. I've been putting the links together and so far no problems. Everything's going together smoothly. Got the rear lower links mounted. I'm still unsure about my wheelbase situation, but these were definitely going to be the longest links, the rear lower ones. So I got those installed a while. And the skid can go either direction, so it doesn't matter which side that I put them on. I'm assuming I have these sliders on the right way. It looks like they can go either way, but I think this is the front for like the tire to turn into it if it needs extra clearance for like a sharp turning angle. So far going together smoothly. This is cool. So I was actually wrong about the rear links. I was thinking these were also the uppers, the bent ones, but I think these straight ones go here. So here's the rear setup so far. The big bent lower links. And then carrier bearing. Carrier bearing has 3 different positions, like forward or backwards. I just have it in the middle for now. And then the links get mounted to that. I think we pretty much have the rear end good to go. Nylon Muse axles, 24yup.com. Got the little bearings pressed into the carrier bearing thing here. Clearance seems good with everything, nothing's rubbing, nothing is like being limited. Okay, as far as links go, the truck is completely built. We have both upper and lower links on the rear and then also on the front. I went with the shortest setup on the front and the longest setup on the rear, but I just wanted to show how many other links we have left over. We still have 2 on the sheet here, and then we still have all of these. So there's a ton of fine tuning you can do with the wheelbase and this setup. But this is the longest rear paired with the shortest front. Motor of choice for this one, Furatech Komodo, only because I already had it and the colors match. With the way it sits right now, it is rubbing the servo, but I think once I get a shock on here, we should have just enough clearance, I'm hoping. If not, I can adjust the servo forward a little bit. Stock transmission, motor mount. I think this came from Venge RC. I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure that's who the motor mount came from. And unfortunately, I'm not able to give actual drive shaft sizes that I'm using. I pretty much just have a huge container of drive shafts, and I just pick them out and cut them and kind of grab what I need. So I'm not quite sure what the actual size is, but I still need to get one for the rear, and I only have half the front done. Another thing I wanted to mention real quick about the front links. Notice how I have, it almost looks like they're upside down right here. How the curve is like upside down. By doing that, it gives you clearance for servo and the motor. Like right here, how the bend looks like it's upside down. And it doesn't cause it to rub anywhere else. So that's the reasoning for that. Just more clearance for these 2 things. Alright, next up, shocks. Rear shocks on, rear drive shaft on. For the shocks, this has pretty much been my go-to for most builds. Injora 39mm oil shock. I have a thicker spacer on the bottom and a bit of a thinner one on the top. The thin one on the top is just so the shock doesn't hit the rail. I actually don't even know if it would. It's just become a habit. And then the thicker one on the rear kind of gives the shocks an angle. Drive shaft, nothing special about that. Just attaches right to the carrier bearing. Good clearance. Front shocks on, again, Injora 39mm. I have the bigger spacer on the bottom, smaller spacer on the top. And I think our motor clearance is going to be good. The only thing I need to pay attention for is this wire here. I just need to route it and make sure it's not going to rub the motor. I think if I move the shocks back 1 hole, it probably will sit too low. I think the motor will probably hit, but we'll see how we like this shock setup and go from there. The ESC that I'm going to use is just an old Furatech one. And then micro receiver for my FlySky GT5 remote. I've also had a couple people asking me how to plug this stuff in. This is the motor wire. It gets plugged into the ESC. This is the servo wire for the steering. Servo wire goes into your receiver, and then the ESC also goes into your receiver. And then this is your battery plug. The battery plug comes off of the ESC. I think that'll do it for the electronics. I have my receiver and ESC on the same slider, and I'm doing that because the battery's going to go over here. Generally, I've been running the battery up front here with the motor facing backwards, but I figured we'll try something different. Battery will sit here, and we should be good to go. Shout out scales for the nachos. Wheels and tires, temporary. These are Trio wheels, Carnage rings, with brass rings on all 4. J-Concept rock bump tires. These are just for testing. Here's what we got. Shout out T5K for the wheelbase thing. I think this is going to turn into a part 1, and we'll have 2 or 3 more videos on this. It has been raining out for like the past 4 days. I tried to go get clips of it. I'll put 1 or 2 clips of it in right now. Yeah, wet rock's not ideal. So yeah, rocks were too wet, couldn't get anything done. So I'll just do a couple lines on the indoor course. Some things I wanted to quickly point out. Steering angle. Perfect, nothing rubs, this is full lock. And this is the shorter front end with the J-Concept rock bumps. Stoked on the steering clearance. Yeah. I do have plans for a body which we're still waiting on, and there's a couple other little things that I'd like to do. But for now, let's just get a couple clips and we'll be done with this one. This is always a really good clearance test rock. Oh, I don't really have a spot to... Okay. This is another tough spot that a lot of trucks have struggled with. I don't know if we can get it or not. Nice. Tough downhill spot. This is kind of the same process with all of my builds. I get them put together so they're complete, kind of without really fine-tuning anything. And then I do some of the same lines with them. And then move the shocks around or just kind of fine-tune them as needed. I'll be impressed if it gets up and over this. This has been a really tough spot. Normally they get stuck on the skid right here. Ooh! Okay, that's actually super good. I have not had many trucks get up that. We'll try and get one more line and I'll give my quick final thoughts on this so far. Probably doesn't look like much on camera, but this is another challenging spot. There we go. See if we can get up and over this. Okay, real quick final thoughts. I know I don't have many miles on this yet, but I think I've driven it enough and with building it to give my opinion. So far, very good. I love that the links are included. You don't have to, there's a lot of these high clearance chassis where you have to reach out to like a separate person to get custom made links, which is fine, but at the same time it's kind of annoying, especially for new people that don't know what's going on. So super cool that it includes everything. The shock mounts seem good. This is cool. So far, I'm happy with it. Hope you guys enjoyed. And I think that's it. Peace!